Good afternoon, everyone, or should I say good day, everyone. So, once again, my name is Maria, and I will be reporting one of the parts of the Module 15 of our course guide for DEVCOM 206, titled Producing Radio Spots. However, this is referenced to Module 13 of our textbook, but in relation to our course guide, it's Module 15. Okay? So let's begin my report or presentation with a question. Why do a radio spot or blog? Why is it necessary? So to answer the question, let me begin my presentation by providing you the objectives of this presentation. So after listening, you should be able to explain the advantages of using concise radio materials such as spots, jingles, and blogs in delivering impactful messages to a wide audience. Second and the last is to highlight the cost effectiveness and flexibility of integrating radio spots into existing popular programs as part of communication campaigns. So, for our introduction, here is a key question that you will need to ponder upon this afternoon. Or this day. Why buy a whole cow when you need only a pound of beef? So, in the past discussions, we had tackled about producing radio program or producing an entire radio production, and we understood how costly it is or time consuming it is as well. That's why this question allows us to go back again to what have we understood in the past. So why do we need to actually produce an entire radio program if we can actually deliver the message effectively through a radio spot? So that's what this key question is trying to imply. But what is a radio spot or a radio blog? So let me give you the definition of it. So a radio spot is a general term for short, concise audio messages aired on radio. So it can have various purposes such as delivering public service announcements or what we call PSAs, advocacy messages, or campaign materials as well. So it focuses on information, education, or inspiration, not always tied to selling a product or service. So we should be careful because although radio spot and radio ad are actually similar, but they are quite different because a radio spot or blog does not aim mainly to sell a product or service, or it's not profit based, but rather it is based on informing people, educating people, and inspiring people about a certain thing or let's say knowledge. In development communication, it could be behavioral and social change related materials. So the examples for this would include health tips, environmental awareness messages, or government announcements. So those are examples for this. So usually we can hear this from Department of Health, Department of Environment, and natural resources, and as well as government announcements, let's say during a typhoon or a flood maybe, or any national, you know, nationwide calamities affecting Filipinos. So now that we understand the definition of a radio spot, we should always remember that campaigners should use concise radio materials. So these materials are spots, jingles, or vlogs over long form programs. So why? So to answer that, let's discuss the value of conciseness. So conciseness, the first value of conciseness is that short and impactful. So our radio spots are 15 to 30 seconds long only. So it means that it could be patched up with another existing program, or 15 to 30 seconds long as well, since you're listening to radio, can easily be remembered. So with that, it's effective. And then the second one, it's deliver it quick effective messages. So it means that when you quickly deliver a message, usually they are effective messages because they will inform, inspire, or instruct people depending on what is the aim of that radio spot, and they can again remember it quickly. The second one, it's accessible, so it can be played within existing popular programs. From what I have discussed earlier, that it can be inserted on other existing popular programs, so that it doesn't have to cover the entirety of the schedule of airing. It could be inserted in as an advertisement during a radio production. So since we're talking about insertion of radio plugs or spots on a radio production, let's discuss now the placement and flexibility. Sorry for the typo. It's and flexibility. So um the placement for radio spot is very strategic because it's inserted between programs or during intermissions, often around station IDs or program breaks as well. And because it's quite short and cost efficient, so there are a lot of themes covered. So the themes covered are civic, social, political, religious, agricultural, health, environmental, economic, moral, and etc. So there are a lot of themes. So it's very flexible. um that's why, since it's very flexible, we now go deeper into the question why radio is effective in general. Radio is effective in general because it has a wide reach. So it's accessible to diverse audiences. The second, which I already discussed earlier, that there is a possible high retention. So catchy messages and jingles leave a lasting impression. So the example for this is that during the election, so there is this campaign of a certain politician. So in Bisaya people or Cebuanos, we have this famous Budut stat. So this senator, you know, dance this senator performed this budots dance, and because it's relatable to people, although it's very short, so people remembered that politician during the election, and in fact he won. So that's how effective it is. It's short but it's very impactful, it's catchy because it's relatable, so that politician won. So imagine the power of a radio plug or a radio spot. So because of that, since we're already talking about the power of a radio spot, let me discuss now the advantages of a radio spot. So the first one, when we talk about the advantages, what are the benefits that we could get from a radio spot, especially that we are development communication practitioners. So the first one is that it's concise. So it delivers key messages in a short time frame. So that's 50 to 30 seconds, making it easy for audience to understand and retain. The second one, it's cost effectiveness. So it requires less production time and resources compared to full length programs, reducing overall costs. The third is wide reach. So it's accessible to diverse audiences, especially in areas where radio is the primary medium of communication. And then the fourth one is flexibility in placement. So again, it can be aired during breaks between programs or alongside popular shows, ensuring optimal experience. And lastly, engagement and memorability. So catchy jingles and creative messaging capture attention and leave a lasting impression on listeners. The shorter, the better. So in conclusion, here's a summary. So radio spots are concise. Again, they are concise, cost effective, and impactful as tools. So they are also perfect for delivering quick and memorable messages. And then our call to action for this presentation is that we should start integrating radio spots in your communication, in our communication campaigns, especially that, we don't have the budget. We don't have usually as development workers, we do not have enough budget for this kind of materials. However, because of the presence of radio spots, we can compromise the budget and deliver an effective message at the end of the day. So that's it for my presentation for this module. So for our discussion forum, kindly drop your answer to the question: what do you think are the limitations of using radio spots as a communication tool? So despite these limitations, do you believe radio spots can still be effective for development communication campaigns? Why or why not? So here are my references. And once again, this is Maria, and thank you for listening. Bye bye.